Maxi DIY Crafts. Today we're going to repurpose this peach that I had purchased at Hobby Lobby during their spring sale for a couple of dollars. Once upon a time we painted it red to turn it into an apple. Today we are going to repurpose it again to make this Halloween craft. Because I'll be using my Cricut to cut some vinyl for this DIY, I measured my peach, I found the half. Now using masking tape, I'm masking it off halfway. I'm going to paint my peach in 2 different colors, in black and white. I'm going to start painting the bottom half using this paint from Rethunk. When I completed this project, I was glad this was the paint that I used. I love the finished texture of it. Look how crisp and white this color is. And that's just the first coat. With this paint, there is a little bit of a technique. So I'm just giving it a light first coat. And then on my second coat, I'll come in a little bit heavier. Once the first coat is completely dry, now I come in with a second coat. And on the second coat, I do come in a little bit thicker. When done, set it aside to completely dry. Now I'm ready to paint the top portion, so I'm masking it off again using masking tape, and now I'm going to paint the top portion with black paint. The black paint I'm using is a chalkboard white paint from Folk Art that I had purchased at Hobby Lobby. Unfortunately, this paint is no longer available. I was totally bummed. I love the ending results of this black paint. Even though it says chalkboard, it dries shiny. At the end, you'll see it's got such a pretty gloss. So once I'm done painting the front, I automatically start painting the back. Don't do what I did. I'm glad that I didn't mess up the white, because I always get my fingers into the paint regardless of how hard I try not to. I didn't even remove the stickers from the back, so wait till the front is completely dry before you start painting the back, and remove your stickers prior to starting to paint. Let's move on to making our wigs. So I didn't want the cutouts to be flush on my project. I wanted them to pop out a little bit. So to do this technique, I cut out the same image using white heavy cardstock. I cut 5 pieces. You can use whatever color you want. You can even use the same color as the color of the wig, but I wanted the white to pop out a little bit, but you'll see it at the end, but really it's up to you. So I just took 5 of those white pieces. I stacked them up using wet glue, and then the top piece will be the color of the wig. And this is how it turns out. Now you can leave it as is. The colors are already vibrant as is, but I wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to my project. So I took some glitter glue and I added to my purple hair here, so you can see the difference between the matte and some of the shimmer. So here again, I'm taking some inexpensive glitter glue, and in a circular motion, I add it to my top portion of the embellishment. Once you add this glitter glue, make sure that you do give it time to set aside to completely dry. I had actually completed this in the morning and I left it for about 6 hours and then came back. So I'm not really sure how long it took to really dry, but I completed it before I left the house. So I knew that by the time I came back, they would be fully dry. Here's another look of the with and without the glitter glue. Now to the fun part, assembling our project. Using my Cricut, I cut this Hocus Pocus logo. I did purchase my artwork from Etsy. Remember, the trick with adding your vinyl to your projects is to transfer it over using transfer tape. You add it to your project, and it's very important to buffer it in. So here I pull away the transfer tape, and there it is. Now let's add our wigs. I lay out my wigs in the order that I want them to sit, and then using hot glue, I'm going to attach them. This is how it turned out. Now I want to make a messy bow to attach to the top of the peach. To make the messy bow, I'm using 3 different colors of ribbon. 2 of them are wired and 1 of them is a satin ribbon. So here I'm cutting 5 pieces of the wired ribbon and then 3 pieces of this purple satin ribbon. All you are going to do is layer them on top of each other, alternating the colors. And you see here that you create it in a form of an X. Then using a pipe cleaner, you are going to secure it all in place. Then I take my scissors and I start to ducktail all of my ribbon. Now to attach my bow to the peach, I'm going to use some hot glue. After I attach my bow, I like to add something to the center of my messy bow to cover the pipe cleaner. So I'm going to use this mini bat that I cut using a glitter black fabric vinyl. And this is how it turned out. For the next DIY, I'm using one of these Dollar Tree Beware signs. I'm going to leave the Beware as is. That way, this person I'm gifting this to has an option to flip it to whatever side she wants to use. I'm going to use the same white paint to paint the back, being very careful not to get any of the white paint on the front side. So here again, I'm giving it a light first coat. Once this completely dries, I come in with the second coat. Now that it's fully dry, I come in with the second coat. On the second coat, I do come in a little bit heavier. The ending results of the paint are, I compare it to if you were to spray paint it with a glossy spray paint. Now let's decorate our board. So the phrase that I cut out was, "I'm the 4th Sanderson sister," and it has the witch broom, and to the right it will have the 3 wigs. So first I'm going to start off by adding my witch broom. It's important when using your Cricut that you do measure your projects ahead of time and then you design it on the design space, so you cut everything out at the correct size for your project. So here I start off with the broom so I know how much space, where to start and where to have the placement of the rest of my stickers. Now let's attach our wigs. So the first thing that I do is I place them on the board to figure out the placement. Once I was happy with the layout, I use my hot glue gun to attach them to my board. Make sure that you add a nice amount of the glue to the wigs and then give it a nice press. This is how it turned out. Now I'm gonna add some jute twine to the top so we can hang it. I do a triple knot and then I cut off the excess. Now I'm going to finish off the jute twine with a messy bow. So I'm using 2 different color ribbons. I'm using a black and white and an orange and black. So here I'm just layering it in a form of an X, pinch it in the middle, and then I use a pipe cleaner to secure it all in place. Then I just pull all the ribbon apart and then I start to give it a trim. I attach the messy bow to the jute twine with the same pipe cleaner, and then I push it down to meet up with the board. Then to the center of my messy bow, I wanted to add a touch of purple, so I have one of these mini glitter purple pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, and I use hot glue to attach it to the center. And that's it, and this is how this board turned out. Hope you were inspired by these videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.